ultra running, I think, might have been initially for me when I got out of the Navy. Just like you said, it's like, you know, okay, so you're out of this organization that your identity was tied to. And I think ultra running was a lot of that for me in the beginning of like, okay, this is going to be my new identity. This is the new arena that I can crush people in, that I can train hard and strive for this thing, right? And all those are great things, man.
There's nothing wrong with doing those things.
All those are good things, but when you start to look at your life and you start to look at your day to day and say, okay, what am I doing day to day? Well, my whole life is revolving around how to train for this upcoming race. Like everything I'm doing is regimented and it's structured around how to train to go and crush people at this race right here. And I'm leaving no time with my Father. I'm not praying. I'm not in the Word. I'm not growing. I'm not helping people. I'm just going and doing this thing. Well, that's about you, man. And then that's all about you, man. And I've been there. I've been there with ultra running for sure. And I think it's only just in very recent years that the Lord in all of his grace has matured me enough to allow me to continue to do these really difficult endurance races.
I mean, for those that don't follow like ultra running, it's probably one of the most mentally tough sports you could. Not only are you going running extreme distances, but you're having to spend hours or days in your own mind, inclement weather, injuries, the overcome mindset that it takes to be able to do these things. One of the races you did, the Revenant race, you're talking only 3 people finish out of every 25 starters. And Utah has a 60-hour cutoff time. You did Badwater 135, which actually we had.
No, I haven't done Badwater.
Oh, you haven't done Badwater?
No, I have not. I have not done Badwater.
So the Aaron Hale, the deaf and blind guy that came through, he did Badwater 135.
I cannot wait to hear that show.
Yeah.
I might already hear it before this episode comes out, but that's a brutal race, man.
Yeah, he did it. He did it as a deaf and blind guy.
That's a brutal race, man. Where I thrive, I've probably done a dozen or more races, maybe over 100 miles.
What's your longest one?
Longest I've ran is 250 miles, Cocodona 250. But where I really thrive is in last man standing races. Those are probably my favorite because, I mean,
can you explain that with this? Because I watched a documentary last night of just 1 mile. And
just 1 mile.
Everybody has to watch it. It's on Amazon Prime. Chadd's in it. It's featuring him competing in this race called the
Mid-State
Mile. And just 1 mile is the name of the.
Yeah, that's the name of the film. Yeah. So it's last man standing it's a test of sheer fortitude and grit. You run the same loop over and over again until everyone else quits. So the race has everyone else quits and you have one winner. So in that race, there's no placement either. Right. There's no second place, third place. Everyone else quits and there's only one winner. I'll boil my mindset down to you very shortly and give you guys, this is everything. When I tell you this about the human mind and how to endure, how to be resilient. Mm-hmm. Like these are the components. All right. There's 3 components for me. Being patient. You have to be patient with the process. Mm-hmm. You have to endure a process. If you have a goal, it's going to take you a lot longer to achieve that goal than you want it to take. Period. That's reality. That's the world we live in. You have to be patient. The reason most people don't make it to the end is because they get impatient. Same thing at a last man standing race, right? Mm. You have to be able to stay present, be where your feet are, right? You have to be able to be present in the midst of a fight. When I'm running that race, the harder it gets, I may just be able to think about taking the next step. The harder it gets, the smaller I have to break it down. So the ability, I have an ultra gift of staying present. It's the way I live my life. I have men around me who are able to project and think ahead. I literally don't really ever think past the day I'm living in. It's the way I live my life, man. And it's a superpower. It has to be balanced out.
Sure, yeah.
But it is, when you're talking about ultra present, living your life, it's a superpower. And when you're in a fight, you have to be present. So when your mind starts to drift too far ahead, sometimes you have to audibly tell yourself, no, think about the next step that you have to take that's going to move you in the direction of your goal, right? The last one is being deliberate. You have to be deliberate or intentional about everything in life. Every word that you say, every relationship that you're investing in, everything you put in your mouth, the time that you spend on a day-to-day basis, where are you spending that time? How are you spending it? You have to be intentional or deliberate, which is the opposite of human nature. Our human nature is to become complacent. But if you're going to operate at the highest level that you can possibly operate as a human being, and now I'm talking about across the spectrum. I'm talking about your relationship with Christ, your ministry, your own personal physical challenges, whatever it is. It requires an intentional, deliberate way of life. So patient, present, deliberate. Those are the foundational elements. Moving beyond that, how do I live my life? How do I keep my mind in a good place? One, I'm hyper aware of my input. Everything that you allow to come in through your eyes and your ears is influencing the way you think in a positive or negative way. I do not listen to certain music not because I don't like the music, but because I know it's a poor input. I know it's feeding my mind with things that are going to influence me in a negative manner. I don't listen to certain podcasts. I don't watch certain TV shows. And let me give you a tip. If it's the most popular, run.
Yeah.
If it is the most popular, run from it, because it's the most popular for a reason. And the reason is because most of the world is not living the way I'm talking about living right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're just consuming whatever makes them feel good and whatever feeds their emotions. And I think we can both agree that emotions are terrible leaders.
Yes.
So be hyper aware of your input. I am that. Be hyper aware of your output. There are no inconsequential words. Our default as humans is to complain about things that we can't even change, man. I say all the time, don't give your pain a voice. If I'm running a race and my legs feel like they're about to snap in half and my whole body's just obliterated and I haven't slept in 2 days, like, you ask me how I'm feeling, I'm going to tell you I feel outstanding. That's just what I'm going to tell you, because I can't change the way my physical body feels. As a matter of fact, I signed up for this, right?
Yeah.
I can't change it. It's a result of the activity I'm participating in. So I'm going to tell you, I feel outstanding. That's just what I'm going to say. So be hyper aware of your output. Every word that you say, by the way, all of this is biblical. Every single bit of these principles I'm telling you is biblical. The Lord tells you, don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow's got enough trouble of its own. What's he telling you? He's telling you to be present. The Lord talks to us about patience all the time, about deliberate lifestyle. The Lord talks to us about our words being so influential in our lives. He references the Scripture references your tongue as a rudder, steering your life in a good or bad direction. And then also, the last thing is being hyper aware of your environment. And by the environment, I mean the people that you choose to be around. We like environments. We seek environments naturally that put us around people who are the same as us.
Mm-hmm.
People who are going the same speed as us, people who are the same strength, the same weight, the same, place in their faith and all this.
Don't stretch us.
Yeah, man. My whole life has really been, sometimes even subconsciously, not even intentionally, but subconsciously, seeking people that are better than me. It was like, when I going back to when I went and did that PST, and I couldn't swim. Like, I knew the only way I was going to get good enough is to walk into an environment and be around people who knew how to swim, who were better than me. And so constantly seeking environments within the body of Christ, within your local congregation, within your business, within running, whatever it is you do, finding people who are so much better than you that when you walk into their presence, you feel like a fool, right? I mean, that's part of the reason. One of the things I was most excited about spending time around you is because you have done so much that I feel like about this big when I'm around you. Like,
I haven't run 250 miles.
No. I mean, I know you don't see it that way, but the truth is you have done so much, both with your military career, with Mighty Oaks, with this podcast, this studio is like, it's like 100 times better than mine. So like, I feel this big when I'm around you. I freaking love that. I walked in your office yesterday and I see all of these epic, this memorabilia from all of your accomplishments and the books you've written. And like, I don't get jealous of that, man. I'm like, I get to be in this dude's presence. I'm going to leave here, and just by being around you, I've come up a notch. And it's because that's the people I want to be around. That's what I'm most excited about.
I hear that, man.
Yeah, man.
I hear that.
And so that's essentially everything in a nutshell, man. You know, that's how I live my life. And those are the things that have served me well when stuff gets really, really hard. And it's all biblical. It's not my idea.
Hey guys, 10 years ago, I had found myself in a position to where investing in Mighty Oaks and all the different things I'm involved in, I had found myself not prepared for retirement. And I went to my friend Ryan Wheelis at Allied Wealth. I'm so happy with the results for me that I asked him to partner with this show, and he is a partner of this show now. So if you're like me and you need someone to help you with your retirement, with your investments, with just your overall wealth management, go to alliedwealth.com and meet Ryan and his team to get you set up.